Right, it is New Year's Day, and everyone, every year we set these resolutions. I don't like the word resolution, I don't think, because I don't know, it feels a bit too restrictive. You could have a self-improvement achievement, maybe. That can be a great thing. They can all be great things for your mental health, physical health, but quite often they are fueled by self-criticism and unhelpful ideas. And this year I want you to think about self-improvement, all right? Think of ideas for you, what works for you. Don't listen to other people, what they're saying, what they're doing. Don't try and jump on someone else's thing. Just look at you and pay attention to you and, self-improvement. And remember that it is okay to ask for help and support if you need it. We're going to be chatting today right now. She's sat in front of me. She's an absolute legend. She really is. She's name is Fi Burton. She's a transformational coach and therapist at New Insight Therapy in Hinckley, and she joins me on the show right now. Fiona, how are you, my darling?
Hi there, Andy. I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Always a pleasure. Did you have a good Christmas, a nice New Year?
I did, thank you very much. Yes.
Oh, fab. Right, so one thing that I want to talk about is the festive blues. We exert ourselves from, probably from the beginning of December, really, of getting the decorations up and the influx of parties that we go to and the social events that we're doing this, and then getting all of the presents together and wrapping up, and then there's the food and getting the food in on time and making sure people arrive on time, and then they're setting the place and doing that, and then the 1st of January hits and you have your New Year's Day meal, and then it sort of drops off, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is quite an anticlimax, isn't it? There's a big build-up, as you say, and it can affect people in lots of different ways, because we can put pressure on ourselves, like you say, all the presents, the expectations to have your house decorated, better than everyone else, and it puts on a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. Add into that maybe family conflicts, spending time with people that you're not comfortable with or that you maybe don't even like, all those expectations, social expectations of, we're supposed to be going out 3 nights a week, drinking, seeing people, and it does put a lot of pressure on people. But then, as you say, we can enjoy it and have a lot of fun, but there is this crash. For some people, it happens straight after Christmas, that kind of dead time between Christmas and New Year.
That week?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there's certainly, I know a lot of people don't even particularly like to celebrate New Year. They just don't, it's not a thing for them. So that crash comes even earlier. It's almost like, all right, Boxing Day, let's take the decorations down, and so there can be a bit of a crash even earlier than the 1st of January.
And so there's no best way to do anything with regards to mental health and mental ill health and the structure around trying to get yourself out of the funk that you're in. There is no one plaster fits all. But what sort of things can we be thinking about to get us out of the funk, basically?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think there is no one size fits all. But I think what you said a few moments ago about making sure it's what suits you, what suits one person. They might be starting, they might say, I'm going to do dry January, or I might be, starting a couch to 5K. Now, that might be all right for them, but don't feel ashamed or feel less than if that's just not your thing. Because don't forget, there could be so many other things that we're dealing with. People could have lost loved ones this year. And, so it's about trying not to put too much pressure on yourself. So I would say the first thing is about being kind to yourself. Have that even as your kind of go-to word. Be kind to yourself. And, we're talking about self-improvement. It doesn't mean to say that you're not enough or that you're not good enough. It's about how can I improve my quality of life, or the quality of my relationships, or the quality of my health. So it's about that kind of looking at improvement in that way rather than beating ourselves up. And
you don't have to take a massive, a mile run. You don't have to go to, 100%, 100 miles an hour. Just like you're saying, look at what it is. If it's to improve your health, maybe Just look at doing a walk around the block.
Yes.
Once a day.
Yeah, it's just about moving. And when I thought about coming on here today, I'd found, because I like to look at different things about self-improvement on YouTube, and I'd listened to this thing. It really struck home with me. And it's almost like an alternative to New Year's resolutions, and it's called an anti-vision board. So think of all the things that you don't want to have or feel or be doing, say, a month from now or even next New Year. You don't want to still be hanging around with the people that drag you down, or still be in the job that isn't fulfilling you, or maybe you want to get fitter and maybe lose some weight. You don't want to still be saying, I'm still the same, and saying the same things. So, and it's about thinking of yourself, say, a month or 6 months from now. Are you still going to be saying, I wish I didn't have this, I wish I didn't have to see these people, I wish. And it's about allowing those feelings of, what do you not want to feel? Do you not want to feel frustrated, defeated, stuck in the same place, going round and round? And if you don't want to feel like that, think, okay, what can I stop? What can I cut out? What little changes can I make? And decide, how do you want to feel? Because it's all about how we want to feel. A lot of the time people put pressures on themselves to make New Year's resolutions to stop smoking or stop eating chocolate or stop drinking. But it's about thinking, why do you want to do that? How do you want to feel? And even deeper than that is, if you are using those coping strategies that we all fall into, of over drinking or smoking, look at really, why is it I'm doing that? What's that to squash down?
It's always
is it to squash
escapism,
down?
isn't it?
Yeah. And I would obviously I'm a big advocate for it, but self-care, one of the biggest forms of self-care is getting some doing some personal development work. So seeing a therapist, seeing a coach. It's not just if you're really struggling, and I'm sure you know a lot of people, Andy, who wouldn't go necessarily and look for any professional help because they think, well, I'm not bad enough. And so many people fall through the cracks. It's not about being bad enough. You don't have to wait until you're at rock bottom or in a complete crisis situation where you can't go to work or you're so burnt out. It's about thinking, right, okay, if things aren't working for me and I'm using a lot of unhelpful coping strategies, maybe I need to go for somebody who can just help me. I can be accountable. I can talk through the things, resolve some past trauma so that I can actually start to feel better in myself, so that we don't need those really unhealthy coping strategies anymore.
'Cause I suppose people might not even realise that they're having mental health problems.
Yes,
they
of
may
course.
just think, I don't know, that they're just a bit sad at the moment or a bit down.
Yeah, and at this time of year, that can be such a thing, and it can be exacerbated by the short days, the lack of light. But in some ways, we kind of have to just embrace that, rather than thinking, oh, I wish it was sunny, I wish it was lighter, I wish. It's actually thinking, well, think of the natural evolution of things. The whole point of this time of year is to kind of reset and rest and slow down. So rather than trying to fight against that and punish ourselves because we think, oh, why am I so tired? Why do I want to sleep so much? Why do I want to eat more? Well, it's because it's the winter, and it's almost like embracing that coziness and the chance to slow down and not be so busy and actually make the most of that. And if you notice that feels uncomfortable, if you notice that actually slowing down and doing a bit less makes you feel uncomfortable, and it's because lots of difficult feelings are coming up, well, then address that. That's good self-care.
Talk about it with somebody, and then you may be able to come to the root of the problem.
Absolutely. Release some old trauma. We've all got stuff from way back that still runs the show if we don't get it dealt with.
Do you yourself have so I know I do, because I know I suffer. You know, I get bogged down quite a lot and things like that. Do you have a go-to to sort of try and help yourself? So for me personally, it's listening to things. Obviously, music is a massive, massive part of my life, being a singer as well. And music can do so much with emotions.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's not just music. It's I read an article the other day of that birdsong. If you listen to birdsong for there was a period of time a day, maybe 5-10 minutes a day, that it's supposed to be able to lift your mental state because it releases, it helps to release some sort of chemicals in your body. So do you have any sort of what do you do if you feel like that?
I like to kind of have an idea of pressing reset. So say, for example, that you maybe, like me, start the day later than you want to, and I was going to get up really early and, do this and go for a run or whatever, but you don't. Rather than thinking, okay, the whole day's wasted then, I've let myself down, I've failed, it's actually thinking, right, okay, so let's just press reset and start from now.
Fair enough.
How do I want to feel? And to me, I think I agree with you that music or listening to something uplifting or inspirational really can change your mood. It really can. There are so many things. We're very, very lucky now. There are absolute hundreds and hundreds of things on YouTube that we can listen to, guided meditations to start your day, or just have your own
sorts
playlist.
Of platforms as well. Like, cause I use literally probably every single platform out there. I've got an account on something, and Spotify, Amazon, like you say, YouTube. You just type it in, and there's a lot of guided meditations. There's a lot of guided therapies. There's just music.
We're very, very lucky, and even with exercise. I mean, exercise obviously is another really good thing for helping you to kind of get going again, to get the endorphins going. And you don't have to join a gym. You can just go out for a walk. You can just go on YouTube, anything to just help you feel that you're moving and not just going into kind of a bit of a slump. Just get moving.
Got a question coming from Katie. She says, do you think writing down a plan list, is that helpful?
Yeah, I do think it's helpful, Katie. Try not to make it too complicated. So a good way to start off is just saying to yourself, what are one or two things that I know will just make a difference to me? Even decluttering one cupboard, decluttering one drawer, getting your physical space decluttered and your mental, space decluttered really can help. So just think of little things. I'm a big one for doing to-do lists, and then they end up getting too long and then you feel defeated. So just thinking of having a bit of structure to your day really makes a difference.
Okay, we've got who is it? Sorry, Leston Evans. What you're saying is 100%. I'm a mental health paramedic, and what you're saying is so true. Well, thank you very much for your message as well. Fee, I love having you on. I really, really do. One sort of parting a comment, I suppose, I can ask for you from anyone that is listening right now that may be feeling like it's a bit much or it's too much. What can they do this second?
Absolutely. It's to recognise that there's not anything actually wrong with you. You're responding in the way that any human would if there's a lot of things going on, a lot of stress building up, or if you've had a lot of chaos in your life or a crisis. Please know that you're not failing. There's not anything wrong with you, and ask for help. Keep asking and looking for help until you get the help that suits you. But have compassion for yourself. Really be kind and look after yourself. And that's the biggest thing I can say is for people to talk kindly to themselves and really make sure that they give themselves that time just to slow down and not do too much. Don't put too much pressure on themselves. But don't struggle on alone.
You nailed it there. Talk kindly to yourself. Don't berate yourself. Don't beat yourself up. You're only human at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And you can always contact Fiona. She, like I said, New Insight Therapy in Hinckley. Email is fiona@newinsighttherapy.co.uk. Is that the best way to get in touch with you?
It is, yes, absolutely. My website as well is the same name, New Insight Therapy. And yes, I always like to just, if anybody gets in touch with me, even if they don't end up working with me, I will always make sure that I pass them on to the right kind of help. So don't ever be afraid to reach out. And
there's not a fee, is that you're happy to sit with someone?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, we'll always have a bit of an email exchange, whatever, or you can book in a free introductory call. Always make sure that I'm the right person for you, and even if I'm not, I'll always make sure that I pass you on to whoever would be, so it's not a dead end.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank
you. A couple of weeks' time, couple of months' time, you're going to come back on?
I would love to. Anytime. Thank you.
You take care. Thank you so much for coming on the show. That's Fee Burton, transformational coach and therapist from New Insight Therapy in Hinckley. Don't forget, if you want to speak to Fiona about things, if you like what she's been saying, email her, fiona@newinsighttherapy.co.uk. Mental health matters. You know it does. Reach out. talk to somebody. Help is there for anyone and everyone. It doesn't see colour, creed, age, size. It sees nothing. Help is not biased. It's there for everyone.